improvement levy, just over $1 million. Next page. So Wright County got back to me on August 15th. Our capacity went up. Everybody say yay. Not as high as I was anticipating, but you see that blue line with capacity, that's when our capacity is at the very, very top, all the way across from 2014 all the way over. So you can see, and then it just relates it down to the bar graph down below. So that, with our levy that we're looking at, our increase is not horrible by any means, our rate. To go from 56 to 58, I was,
So that's only a 2% increase.
Yep.
Did you do that math in your head?
I did.
Oh, it's pretty
That wasn't on paper.
So, questions so far, thoughts, comments? I'm happy where this sits right now. The only thing is maybe I'll just put a little bit into that Minnesota pay leave, just so if I don't get an answer back by the time we need it for the meeting, that would be the only thing I might add in.
Does he have somewhere in here, the maintenance of the ponds?
With the wastewater funds?
And just like the surrounding ponds that he's, the storm ponds that he's working with,
Not since,
engineers?
not since that, I mean, that would be in that stormwater fund, that 604. Not that I was told.
We just talked about it last week, I think, with the engineers. The plan is to kind of do an inventory, and then they would come back to us and kind of give us their opinion and then plan on what you want to do, or if there's big stuff that needs to get done with them. As far as money wise, I mean, we have no idea what the plan for at this point, so.
So I guess if there are things that you feel we should add increase, just because we can add it now and then take it out for the final, if it's something that we wanna, things we wanna put in for, you know, if we wanted to add 50,000, I don't know, into stormwater, just so. And
Dump at the bottom of the ponds to dispose.
so with the enterprise funds though, those don't get reported to the county because those are enterprise funds. So really with those ones, I mean, we can change if we want. Cause those don't go on the lead certification of the county. So if we wanted to change that, we can change that. It's mainly the other funds that we have to worry about.
Definitely like to see some of the numbers come back from.
And then I threw in here rates, the very last page. And I apologize, I wish this was working because we could go through and kind of say, oh, hey, if we did this and this and this, we could see the increase, so I apologize for that. So these are on the right-hand side where you see the estimated revenue and the budget expenses. Those budgeted expenses are what we just went through. It's coming from those budget worksheets. So for that first area is water. So we know that our budgeted expenses right now are $968,000. So what I put in there is for with a 5% increase from where we are now, our revenue would be $848 for next year. So we're still shy.
Still 120 shy.
Yep. Yep. So and that would be going from, we're at 1320 right now, a 5% increase would be 1386. If you can kind of see those yellows, those are the 5, 7, and 10. And then same, so going down to sanitary sewers, the next area, you can see, based on a 5% increase, with 723,000 in revenue, less expenses, we'd be ahead, 106. Storm sewer, this one, I don't know anybody who wins on storm sewer, but, at a 5% increase, we've been 158, less expenses, we'd be in the hole about 92 grand. And then wastewater. So estimated 955 with a 5% increase, and then our expenses at 877. So positive to 78,000. So, and I know this doesn't have to be decided. I mean, I don't know if you want to look at, you know, I just wanted to get it out there and get it in front of you so you can start seeing it. And I think it was recommended we do a minimum of 3% each year at least. And I'm sorry, I don't have those amounts where I think we were looking at what the rest of like how they and where they all were. I don't have that. No, we're trying to be close to their rates.
And we gotta get to that point where we start getting
Mm-hmm.
close to those rates.
Mm-hmm.
The water base, tier 1, 10% increase, that's a incorrect number.
That is only 32.
So I got 1386 here.
That's for 5%. 10% of 1320 is $1.32.
Oh, the tier 1 or tier 1, 688, 722, 736, 1386.
They must have not updated.
Should be what, 756? Somewhere around there.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just look at that number. Make $500,000 for your 10%. Do that mantras, man. I was wondering why they capped us.
Well, now that I see that,
You only need to
yes.
go, you only need to go like 8%
Thank you.
or 5.
Double that up.
Isn't that how it works?
Because what did we agree to last year? What was that? 10? That kind of tears the Band-Aid up so we could get back to a
Yes.
better idea, so. I mean, previously we were losing much more than this just out of single funds, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting better. I think going to 5 is the right way to go here.
Let's see what.
I'm just talking across the board here. I mean, looking at it going, you take all these things, we're pretty much, we're close to even, at least. Yeah. Versus just negative in all funds. And, you know, as we talked about last year, was let's do the big one now, let's get on to a standard. Smaller increase moving forward until we still got a couple of years until at least the sewer. What does everybody else thought? Back to the budget discussion, that's what we did this time.
No, I think you're right. 5% is.
5%.
Joe? Yeah. Thanks, so, I think that's what we talked about last year.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the bigger one right off the bat,
think you gotta do a little more than 3.
I get that, I think 3 is you're getting yourself back into a rut. So, I think 5 is nice and simplified, and again, we can take a look at, 2026 is this year's, and, what we're saying, what the actual run. Hopefully, with some more potential for development and stuff, use the stuff too.
Your estimated revenue on there, that's already assuming a 5%.
Correct.
So that's assuming a 5%.
That's what I'm saying, because it gets us closer to that.
Yeah.
In years past, it's all been red. Or we're not even coming close to figuring it out. And correct me if I'm wrong, this isn't, don't need to necessarily make a bunch of revenue, we just need to get close to breaking even if possible.
Yes. Basically these funds here they're called enterprise funds because they're supposed to operate themselves. You're not supposed to levy for them, you're not supposed to, they're supposed to just run themselves with what you make.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to plan for your purchases with us.
Yeah. Yeah, we're roughly 28 in the negative, 30 in the negative, keep them all together. Maybe I get the actual funding.
Negative numbers are hard though.
All you gotta do is just add it up
Jackie
and then
didn't need a
subtract.
calculator.
Add up the positives, subtract the negatives.
But she's already got the answer.
27,157.
Not bad.
You're pretty close.
So if you guys are okay with how everything looks, like I said, I think I'll just maybe add some for that Minnesota Pay leave. Just to kind of cover that, and then,
Do we wanna put any bigger buffer just in case?
well, and I didn't know if you wanted to add a little more to capital.
Well, I'm just saying, and here's what I'm saying is, we can always bring it
Come
down.
down.
So, but do we wanna add a buffer just in case of anything that comes in between now and December?
Well, and I didn't know about even adding for some of that capital, we can flex some more of that capital and plan for the future.
And that's kind of where I was thinking, like, do we wanna just. Right.
Have you had the chance to talk with any other cities where they're sitting percentage wise?
Yeah, actually, there was a big email that went out,
They know the county's thinking
well, and
large.
yeah, they are. I wish I would have gone on Wednesday. I had my finance people met on Wednesday and I had public accuracy testing. I'm like, dang it. Let's see here. So these are from the ones I've heard back from. So I'll just kind of go down the list of our county. St. Michael, so these are just the amount of their increase. 6.75, Hanover 7, Rockford 13.3, but they're planning for an engine. Albertville 7.94, Dayton 8.5. These are gonna be all bigger cities. It's like Elk River 8, Becker 1.5, Maple Grove 6.35, Sartell 2.6, Rogers 13, Medina 8.6. That's what I've heard back from so far. So it kind of felt good to be on the low end for once.
Yeah, right.
Last year I was on the high end.
Well, we don't wanna be down the low end either.
No,
We wanna capture what we
That's
can
kind of
capture.
Yes.
I don't wanna put us in a bucket here of, again, not trying to say, let's go increase as much we can, get as much, but for planning purposes before December, we have the opportunity to at least say, this is a good where we stood, we all talked about it, but let's submit this. To, what does it look like? Now we get the actual numbers in December, now we can actually look at that.
Yeah, and I might ask Dan to maybe go back through his public works go like, I mean, I have 500, you can go 750.
I'm just thinking like, that's our biggest issue right now.
Well, but, and that 401 is general, I mean, we can include like the community center like you were talking about, we can start thinking about the server, we can start thinking about it pushing some more money away for that. So we could, instead of 500, we could increase 750,
I mean,
we could do a million.
would we wanna start considering plans for the future with this building and community center? And this be a good opportunity to put some funds away for that?
That's probably a good idea.
You know, if we have this, we're sitting solid here, but maybe we bring it to a total of 60%, and now we're looking at, you know, a 3% increase. And now we actually have a potential plan. We have some dollars that are going towards something that we don't have a full plan now yet, but at least there's.
We have wiggle room.
You have money to use in the future when the time is right.
Correct.
Exactly my point. Now, okay, we have the money, now let's go for grants, so, you know.
At least you're paying for, you know, if you're putting $100,000 away, at least you're paying for the increased cost every year. Bring it back to what it would cost to build today, which we all know you can't do.
No,
But if you're putting money away, then at least it's
yeah,
keeping.
it just goes back to our discussion we had on, you know, what we really wanted to do, and I felt that was something that we all kind of agreed on, that that's something we wanna plan for. Again, not for next year, but we have to start budgeting for it now, and then that way it's less of a hit when it actually comes to happen.
Well, if we add 250,000 to the general capital, our rate is gonna jump to 65. So, but like you said, you can always come back down, you can, instead of adding 250, we add 1.5, or we change that.
And 250 might be a stretch,
Okay.
you know, to jump to, that's, you go up another 9% again. I think, ideally, I'd like to stay in that 5% range.
61% at 100,000, if we add another 100,000.
That's fine. I kinda like that idea, what you guys thought that. And again, it's not, yeah, it's under 5. 5.7. You wanna try that again?
Well, 61.43 to be precise, so.
Oh. So we're almost there. But again, I think it's something we should put in there.
Okay.
Yeah, at least that gives us that 100K buffer before December.
I know it's in your money sheets here. Right now, how many bonds do we have out?
The biggest one we have is at 2021.
Downtown improvement project one?
That, and we've got, 2 PFAs. Downtown.
That money in theory could, if you put it into general capital, you could use to pay down debt services if and when rates deemed it smart to do so.
But they have to be callable too, like
Right,
we
yeah.
can't pay off PFAs early.
No.
And that downtown improvement project is, the balance on that is so insane right now. We need to be close. Sorry.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 4 left. We have a 2012 crossover, that was a refunding bond. That we have 408,000 left to pay on, that is paid off in 27. That's the next one we'll pay off, and then in 29, the 2010 PFA loan for the water tower. After that, not until 2039, which is the well house, the 2019 well house, and that's over $1 million. Now, here's the kicker one. The 2021, street reconstruction is not till 2042, and right now that's at $10 million.
That was a 20-year bond.
All of us, come on.
So roughly right now, debt total right now is just under 12 million. So, but we're in a good position going forward, you know, that we're planning for like our street stuff. I kind of shared with a couple people that right now, like, we are set to pretty much pay for Clementa in cash. I have right now 1.2 million in investments coming due that year that we can probably pay for in cash. I'm gonna try and get it up to 1.6. So if we don't have to bond for it, that's kind of my goal, is to kind of start paying for things in cash and getting those investments coming due.
These bonds for stuff that you need to bond.
Yep. So that's the first big hurdle I feel that we need to get past as an expense wise. So I feel like the capital for next year, you know, this is within reason. We're still planning for future, that if we want to use part of that for the streets and not pay for it total cash, so we can roll some of those investments, great. We can make that decision when the time comes.
Hopefully once you'll have a clear picture of the whole project. Yep. Crystal clear picture. I say county clear.
Get your go up.
So that's kind of all I had for budget and rates. So I'll add 100,000 to the capital, and then I think 5%, if you guys think on rates, we'll kind of go with that. And I think at the September meeting, I will come back with our prelim levy, and we're gonna roll with it.
Great work.
That's all I have. Unless you guys have questions or comments or anything.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Speak now, or hold your peace.
Thank you, Jackie, great job.
I miss going through everything line by line like we have in the past.
I will not. The many times I've looked at this in the last like 2 weeks.
Luckily fire chief's up this year.
It struggles me enough just going line by line with you for my.
And you know what, honestly, cover the big increases, decreases, everything else is kind of, if it's $200-300, does it really paint the big picture? No. So.
Okay, nothing else?
Motion to adjourn.
Alright. Adjourned, 5:45. What were you gonna say, Don?